start recording. Okay, so Bacon asked about what happened to Chloe, and we're gonna continue with this. So, Chloe. Chloe was being experimented on by the mages, and she was gonna become human, except that Malkav interfered with that, and now she's forever trapped as a vampire, and she absolutely hates it. She may well make it into After Gehenna as this bitter, broken thing who Malk essentially destroyed. There. Another life you've ruined. I hope you're happy.
I am. I ruined it to begin with, and the fact that she's still suffering gives me great joy and pleasure. Just getting in the mood for my next character.
Congratulations, you can choose to change your nature to monster.
I'm dead now, doesn't matter.
Or sadist. This kind of gradual, systematic, artistic destruction, I think that fits a sadist a lot better. Because it's not a roar, look at me, I'm a monster, it's a suffer, my pretty, suffer kind of thing. The Sabbath rituals, yes, you can pick them, but Yorick made a deal with the SD that will completely fuck you over, no doubt, but he did get some dots of rituals, so he does have them.
Yep. I made a pact with the devil.
The devil? Oh, I
Yes.
see. You now have one permanent point of aggravated damage. Fuck you!
I proclaim my allegiance to my lord Satan.
You don't need to pick Sabbath rituals if you don't want to.
Yeah, that,
Unless you want to pull a huge background of rituals from all over the country. You know, essentially a cultural research of the Sabbath that others might come and visit and trade favors to actually look through. If that's how you want to roll with it. You could pull that and bring it like to level awesome, but it's up to you.
you actually generally can't pool the rituals very well unless two people have the capability for Pack Priest.
Yeah, I'd probably allow it if it was something you had. If the backstory is essentially fitted.
Yeah.
I did like the idea of having a... essentially having a 5-dot occult library and then having a specialized library on top of that. For example, a thaumaturgy library or demonology library on top of that as a full background.
Cool? Yes. Probably gonna happen? I don't think so. But we're getting sidetracked.
Yes, we are. So, let's take a look through the dead pile.
It's big.
Very big.
We
I
could-
have the most of the characters on it.
So, who do we want to know about? Igor. Do we want to know about Igor, perhaps? Oh, there's a great deal of silence. We'll assume not.
Yeah, I did not like him.
Why not? I thought he was a great pet until... I like the idea of Chantry having a weird character in there that was essentially a guardian slash pet. Which is also why I made Puppy. I thought that was a great thing, like Toridor comes in and go, why is he staring at me like that? Make him stop, please! Why are his eyes glowing like that? Ooh, apparently Jackalork has managed to get the other two players to pull backgrounds with him. Epic.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you. That would be great.
I can help pulling 2 dots of resources and 2 dots of domain.
Well, essentially you can just say how many dots you are willing to pull, and then you decide as a group what those dots go into.
Yeah, that's how that really works.
I think it's a max of 5, like your basic
Nope.
5, not the ones you buy with freebies that go into it.
Wrong, actually. Pooling
Yeah?
backgrounds removes the limit.
No, I mean, you can go above the limit, but I mean that each character can only commit up to 5.
I don't think there's an actual limit on that, besides any arbitrary one you wish.
I think there was. I seem to recall Grimmeth mentioning it as being part of the rules in his Chronicle, but that was a long time ago.
I think that was a thing he did personally, but I'll check myself.
Oh, I already have the thing open. Let me just find the backgrounds page, like page 130 was...
118, here we go. The anchor.
Pulling backgrounds. So usually it's just allies, contacts, domain, herd, influence, resource, and retainers. To this you can add occult library. And Black Hand if you want to be insane and suicidal, of course.
Yep. You'll just need to decide on an anchor background first to, you know, decide what you guys mainly focus on, really. Why do we keep getting distracted by this? I guess we really want to talk about it, but I thought we were going to try and finish up what was going on, though. First.
Yes, Dracula, people do know about Grimmeth. Grimmeth is a thing. You can actually ask what was going on in the various characters' heads at certain points in time as well. If there's any events that you want to gain greater insight into.
How about just any of the vampires that I kill? Hell, you know, anyone powerful that Yorick was killing, the thoughts they had right before death. The fuck is this guy? The hell?
The prince was essentially going. Well, what was he? Let's try to formulate this. He was going, what the? Oh shit, him. Fuck. Because the prince at that point knew. The prince knew. The Bali Elder was more like, oh, you're fucking shitting me, right? Oh. He was like, I'm gonna teach you your place to... Oh.
Apparently his place was below me. Yeah. And Alberto was just like, what the fuck?
I've been practicing my knife work for centuries. Die, you... Die! Just... Okay, he's... Oh! Just as he's going down.
Ah, jeez. There. That was why I wanted to know about what people were thinking.
Okay. Jackalor, is there anything you want to know about what the characters were thinking at various times? And the same goes for you others as Jackalor tries to think something up and type it out. Malik, do you want to gain insight into the thinking of various characters? Like, give us an example.
I'm drawing a blank. So, as to somebody, I would actually... What did Philip think about the Chantry? Like, not Malik or like everybody in the Chantry, the Tremere in general, the new Tremere.
I didn't know you guys knew about Grimmeth. Damn.
I don't know about Grimmeth.
Look him up.
He does pretty awesome tabletops. He's actually the first one I found.
Yeah, I think the Gentleman Gamer is better for VTM and World of Darkness in general, but Grimmeth wasn't bad. And he's...
I felt Grimmeth did a lot better than the Gentleman Gamer.
I don't know, I like how he does his characters. He always... he seems to be good at impro. But it might be a matter of taste. Vsevolod Cerveni. Ah, that was a good Zanitsi. Good times.
Gamer argues that the Bali aren't a real clan, that they're just a folklore, a myth.
He wants to know what happened to his brother.
What was the doctor thinking when he was getting brutalized? He was actually pretty cool about it. Like, he was thinking, okay, this is bad, but we've been in the same situation before. Vanished from the mind's eye. Wait. Oh, fuck. As for your brother, he's buried and trapped inside the city of grinding gears. Most likely. He was left in torpor. When he wakes up, Well, he would wake up during the Gehenna and he would go running around with the Diluvians around. He would probably try to survive and possibly fail miserably. I would say that he gets murdered by shadow creatures from La Sombra. Eventually. Because he would be awake during Gehenna and he wouldn't have a safe place to ride it out. He would actually get mixed up in things trying to survive out in the wilderness. Yeah, I would say that he would eventually wake up and join up with the party trying to survive and pull their resources and eventually get attacked by La Sombra and be one of the few who fell while helping the rest of the party escape, essentially acting as a rear guard. He dies a hero. No, it wasn't polar bears. The polar bears are all truly dead. He killed them all. They do not get to come back even as shadows. No.
I got something.
Okay.
Can you give us a general play-by-play as to how Cornelius meets his demise? Do you have some idea planned out of how that was going to come about?
I didn't before this session, but I had an idea while we were talking. Essentially, he keeps believing in the power and glory of the clan Tremere and that the elders will come up with a solution eventually. And he just keeps holding the defense of his Chantry with whatever people he has, while the people at first die and then desert him one by one, and he dies as he lived as a loyal member of the clan, defending his Chantry, the last one alive in there.
Good. Fuck him. Hope the Chantry burns.
If you had not fucked up Liam's mission, you would have had his full backing in taking over Springfield. He would have sent lots of reinforcements as well. He would have backed you.
So it was the one brownie point that I didn't get.
It was both losing the granddaughter and losing Liam. That was the 1-2 that essentially wrecked your relationship with him.
I figured it was coming.
That was just... And then killing the prince was...
The prince was like super brownie points for some reason.
It would have been if he believed you could take advantage of doing that.
I was a little butthurt over that one.
If he had thought that you were in a position, if he trusted your ability to the point where he thought you were competent enough to take over, it would have been all the brownie points. And if you had handled the conversation a lot better, you still could have pulled it out. But essentially just telling him that you expected him to be pleased, well, that just wasn't good enough. You did not sound like a confident go-getter. Boo, hiss.
I was just following what I thought was right. Because I honestly didn't want to kill the prince. I just thought it would make him happy.
And it would have. I mean, it was... You were completely right about it. In most situations, it would have made him happy. It's just that coming from you after your recent failures, it, as a whole, painted entirely the wrong picture. And that is something I made special care to try at least and do throughout the Chronicle, is try to keep in my mind and think about how does this look to the other clans? What do they know about this? How does this make them see Tremere? Which also leads to some of their decisions looking weird from you, because again, I try to build a clear blueprint of how this affects your public relations and your image. Because that was one of the things you had to do, is rebuild the image of the clan from the ground up, essentially.
Yeah, we didn't do that.
Well, in a way you did. You were these shadowy badasses and warlords. You were essentially the Prince's hounds for a while there. He just set you loose. In a lot of ways, you are starting to be seen as essentially his elite pack of troops.
Huh.
So you know. As was reflected in rising status at times as well. You weren't liked, but, and you certainly had people who would gladly see you burn, but you were feared, and in some small measure respected. Mostly it was fear. Like, don't fuck with those guys.
That's all I wanted. Originally, like you were talking about how I was going to be the nice guy, I actually kind of played it out like I wanted him to be the nice guy.
I really didn't see that.
Towards
I really didn't.
Well, it's because I kind of started playing it sort of that way, or had it in my mind that I wanted to like ease tensions and kind of.
He did try.
Yeah, I tried.
I'll be blunt. I've been rewatching the stuff ever since the game ended, and I'm on the 8th session now. It is not any way obvious that you are trying to be a nice guy.
Well, not nice so much as nice for a vampire.
That can be a very
totally
nice guy.
See, I wasn't like to my enemies. I definitely wasn't nice. I was a monster to my enemies.
You weren't even nice to Bronson. Well, okay, you were kind of nice to Bronson. You told him he was a good dog. A lot.
Yeah. I really complimented
I think Jackalor wants me to say glory to our Stotska out loud. There you go. Greetings from Eastern Europe, Tavarishi.
Yeah, Malik didn't really tip me as a nice, in any way, guy.
Well,
nice.
not nice so much as trying to resolve things diplomatically with his limited abilities. He did try to build some sort of bonds when he could have just gone and wrecked things.
Okay, I will say this. He did try. Sometimes.
That's just me being bad at what I was doing.
I just thought of a really awesome moment. Remember when the shoe dropped and Serath realized that Alberta knew about the diablerie of the sheriff? I just loved how he was immediately just this subdued little puppy dog. Yes, I get it.
Yep.
I'll obey, mistress. I'm
That was-
yours.
That was
He could
pretty
have got a
good,
little
too.
bass in his voice in that one. No, we
I
had
admit that was pretty good.
dogs. But that does bring up something I did want to know about Alberta and what happened with her and what was her involvement in the Tremere's uprising before we came.
Yes, she was secretly backing it. She was gonna setting herself up to be the second most powerful clan after the Ventru got screwed, and then the moment it started looking like it was bad, she was like, "My prince, I was clearly mistaken or perhaps misunderstood. I would never doubt the wisdom of your rule. Truly, I am your most loyal servant." She essentially dumped the Tremere the moment she couldn't get what she wanted from them. She essentially stayed to a large extent on the sidelines, her support being mostly political. She wanted to play the Tremere off against the prince while nominally being on the Tremere side because she thought that they were more likely to win, and she was essentially playing the Game of Thrones, trying to weaken her enemies and strengthen the position of her own clan. She was essentially a snake during that engagement as well.
So how much different is the Sabat game going to be from a Camarilla game? Because
A lot.
I assume a lot.
You won't have to rein in your
Devilish
cruel,
natures.
yes, cruel tendencies as much, but at the same time, there isn't going to be any elders to hold your hand. The masquerade will rest entirely on you, as will the consequences of when it breaks. You're essentially going to have the orders of harnessing the resources of a small city, along with a few other packs, for the glory and benefit of the Sabbat. You essentially have a free hand with one and Sileus coordinating and keeping an eye on you, essentially. And one that doesn't pay particularly much attention to how you do it either. So,
Well, that's another thing I was wondering is like, so the masquerade is something we still have to be mindful of.
as a self-preservation thing, yes.
Yeah.
No one's gonna stop you if you want to have 20 ghouls. If you get hunters on your ass, that's on you as well.
Do note that if it is particularly bad, that someone of higher standing may come in and punish us.
Which usually means death. I believe.
Almost always, yeah. In fact, there's generally only two ways in which a punishment is dealt out. Either death, or the Pack Priest does a ritual for you.
I think there was trial by combat. That's the ritual, right?
No, it's not actually that. It's actually... The ritual is literally choose a thing that is reflective of the action.
Mm-hmm.
It's really pretty cool. I like it.
All right. Yes. So essentially, here you had to establish yourselves against essentially a wall of thorns. In the Sabbat game, you have a free hand to build your own empire.
But now that we don't have any kind of real foundation, and even though the sky's the limit, there's a very big pit too.
Yeah, essentially, no one's gonna interfere with you, probably, at first. But first you have to decide how you're gonna actually build and organize an empire, whether you want to control the local gangs, or the government, or money, or whatever. You have to come up with something to actually make yourselves powerful, because the Sabbat is gonna want tribute and useful resources from you, sooner or later. And you don't want as a Mitzi Elder showing up and asking, why the fuck have you not provided anything yet?
Yeah, that'll be a big bad time.
And also, eventually, you will no doubt have to defend that against threats, whether it's in the form of Camarilla, interference, hunters, or even mortal authorities. Because whenever you have a plum, someone wants to take it away from you.
Basically, imagine that we're basically on our own, but there are various things to somewhat make contacting each other and that kind of stuff a formal thing. It's a little weird. But
essentially, you can consider yourself as having a 1/4 or 1/5 stake in a city, and you're princess of your little chunk of it, more or less.
Very good way to put it.
An Anarch Bruja Elder comes in. This is now his barony, get out.
And now you'll have to decide. Do you accept his barony? Do you not?
Do you want to face the wrath of the Zemitzi Elder, who really doesn't want this to be a barony?
We'll just have a lot of choices.
Yes, here you are railroaded. To a large extent. There it'll be the complete opposite thing. You'll have almost absolute freedom, and I'll just use your own choices to fuck you.
Mm-hmm. So I think we've officially gone over to talking about the Sabbat game now, and the other stuff is over, right?
Well, if anyone
That's
has
just a question
any...
I had. It comes to my, like, I'm ADHD, so when questions come to me, I just ask.
I'm perfectly okay with that. I pretty much expected this to start to bleed over into the Sabbat game and wander back and forth, and I'm okay with that. It might get people interested in watching the next Chronicle once they actually get this far through the long list of videos, because I believe we have played 41 full sessions and this Epilogue, which is a whole lot of footage.
It is so much footage.
Glorious Chronicle.
How many people have actually sat down and tried watching it? I know Noah from our old game was like getting into it.
The latest videos, usually some views show up after a couple of weeks, but I don't know, I could easily go back on my YouTube channel on the other screen and see if I can find the original...
The first video has 155 views.
Is that the intro one or the first
The
actual
intro.
session?
The intro one. The first session has 190 on the first one, in first part. The second does just 35, and the third part has 29.
So it's gonna be one of those chronicles which people dig up now and again and try to watch. Great times.
It's a really long one, though. And that's a lot of time.
True, but considering how abruptly a lot of these end, I think there's like a steady trickle of fandom that on occasion finds Vampire the Masquerade and goes looking for this kind of stuff. So I think it's a good contribution that this is on the internet and people who are interested in this sort of thing can eventually find it. Because
Yeah, I only know of about 4 actual real Chronicles.
the Gentleman
So-
Gamer had at least 2 or 3 that I know of, but I'm not sure if the live stream, like Google live stream footage, is still available.
That's actually the one I was thinking about with the Gentleman Gamer, because I didn't remember seeing much for an actual Chronicle from that.
I think he's quit, hasn't he? He doesn't do
He
it.
came back to preview a game about some dogs and crap. I don't know, I'm optimistic. I'm hoping he won't be able to stay away completely.
I think he writes for Onyx Pact now, doesn't he?
I don't know, he does seem to do plenty of interviews and have connections with developers for this kind of stuff.
But that's a little bit different from actually being a writer.
He had that Sabbath game with...
I think I saw an interview where he said he was actually writing stuff for him now.
He did have that game where he was with the creator of Vampire the Masquerade, I think. They were playing Sabbath.
Huh.
They had like 8 or 9 sessions in it. Nice short chronicle. Where they essentially wrecked a city. Much like you did, except not quite as bad. But then you have been at it longer and you have been building up your power base and preparing from this moment for a long time, what with the demon crap and all.
So with the new Sabbat game, are we going to go a full year? Guys,
I don't know.
We can probably do it.
I will take the kitty gloves off. In this game, I protected you from dying by random dice roll. Which is one of the reasons why Yorick could die in that demon thing. Because you were dying by random dice roll, you were dying by story, which is a different thing. But, in the Sabbath game, I will not necessarily be as generous. You're grown up now, this is no longer your first game, you should know better. Consequences will be had for stupidity.
And that's why my character does not care so much for death.
We're all dead already. Oh god!
Alice.
My
He's a damn
character
ass.
is totally incompetent at social actions because when I try those, I fuck up everything and make everything bad.
So you're all playing combat characters. Good to know. After I told you that this is gonna be a social game to a large extent about managing mortals. Good job.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey! I have Satan.
Satan can't even speak straight. Don't you talk to me about Satan.
Actually, that's not actually true. He can speak straight.
but seriously, I can't do social characters. Look at Raffaello.
I
It
can
was-
do them, but badly. So,
So,
Satan
schizophrenia.
can speak clearly. It's just he generally only does it when he's being in trying to hunt somebody or is with somebody in a very personal setting. It's not his default way of talking, is what I'm saying.
Alcavians have animalism, right?
No.
No.
What am I thinking? They have
That's
animalism
because
for?
Kennedy has it.
Okay, that's why.
Because
Because I don't know much about them.
Kennedy
They
has
have
been the...
obfuscate, demontation, and something else.
Auspex.
Auspex.
That's it. Okay.
Speaking
Yeah,
of Satan, what is his exact shtick with his with his derangement? You can whisper it to me if you don't want the others to know. How does it show itself?
I don't particularly mind. He actually has hallucinations where he up to you sometimes, but they're generally things that have either happened to him or are going to happen because he's that strong at seeing things. That he just views them as real. So, and he'll react to them as if they were real. If he sees a lady in a red dress dancing around in the middle of a bar, he's going to wonder why is she doing that? Do you know who that girl is?
Okay, that... I can work with that, that will do.
And besides that, as I said, he has another one too, which I'm actually really wanting to do with a Sabat character. His other derangement, which was from flaws, is sanguinary animism.
Mm-hmm.
He believes that whenever he drinks the blood of mortals, he is taking parts of their soul.
What about vampires?
They're just normal, apparently.
So essentially, the soul stuff is already stolen, just swimming around in a vampire's blood. So you're just, it's harm's already done, I take it.
Yeah, kinda. And I am going to roleplay that. He believes he is taking people's souls. So, when he views diablerie is the same crime to him as draining a mortal.
Completely?
Yes.
What about partial diablerie and inflicting huge pain that way?
He'll love it.
That's normal?
Yes.
Did you want to switch over to a path for this character, or are you gonna stay at...
I was going to see about looking up a path that fits what I'm trying to do with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, keep in mind, virtues might have to be moved around, and obviously the basic first point is not there for a lot of paths, so you know.
Yep, I know.
Any other characters that we want to look into? Like, we had a lot of servants and allies that died. We could take a look at their last thoughts as a wrapping up thing. Look up at our dear friends that have died horribly. Mm-hmm.
Anyone want to
Going
know
into the
about...
dead folder to look and see if there's any.
Anyone that you care about? Rudolph, you mean the original sheriff? Okay.
Oh, how about Eddie, the barman?
Okay, we'll handle both. Rodolph, because that was the Dutch version of Rudolph, because I decided to make him Dutch for whatever reason. He was thinking, oh, thank God, I'm saved. The prince has sent reinforcements. Wait, what did I do? Oh, no, no, please, no, 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 ah! That's more or less how his final moments went.
Good way to go.
As for Eddie, it was like, oh, not again, not this gang. Oh, wait, what are those clothes? Oh, God, no, 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 ah!
They all scream in the end.
Yeah,
Well,
pretty...
they died. Most people scream when they die.
Nobody cares about what Bronson thought.
Nah.
Not really.
He met a good death.
He was actually like, I'm gonna get this bitch, I'm gonna get this bitch, come here, come here.
We figured not much was going on behind those eyes. Have you ever looked at somebody in the face and went, man, there's nothing firing back there? That was what we kind of always viewed Bronson as.
You know, I've had that feeling. I know what you're talking about, yes.
Him. I just always assumed he had very dim eyes at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Very surprised that he learned thaumaturgy of any sort.
It's in clan, so it comes
Did it to him
instinctively.
because he's like, awesome, I can wreck shit.
Yeah. Adam Pierre. Remember this about Ancillay? He was breathing the night there when he got torched. He was thinking, oh, thank the gods we made it out of there. Phew. That was close. I was worried there. Oh my God, I'm burning. Dwight's final words were, why did we come here? Bronson, what are you doing? And no one else really stands out as particularly important.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking through it now.
Jeez. You know what? I want to say I'm going to follow the path of Cathari. That's what I want to do.
I will Yeah, let me know which paths you're thinking about, and I will look into them when I have a moment and see if they work for me.
That just seems to
Yeah.
match kind of what he's really about.
I think that I will take part of tonight, just for fun.
The one I was looking at is kind of shunned by the Sabbat. The Sabbat. I'm having trouble just talking today, apparently.
Chavali. Chavali, the elder / almost Methuselah level powered Ancile who just got wrecked and staked and eventually unearthed by the dwarf. Yeah. She was not particularly hopeful when you came in. She had been kept like that for a very long time, and she was very unhappy with it. Perhaps not even entirely sane, what with being staked and kept essentially awake but unable to act for a good long time. And there was this small glimmer of hope as the people came in, and then she essentially had a moment of, yeah, that is the way it's gonna go, isn't it? Foolish of me to expect any different, essentially. She was a very depressed girl towards the end. You made her sad. Okay, anyone else? There's always Liam and people like that, but perhaps some people who we heard...
It's a good path for like a sadist.
A Path of Night.
There's a lot of them. Look, okay. Path of Feral Heart, Path of the Beast, Path of Night, Path of...
What in
There's a lot.
specific would go with like Toreador though? Because Path of Night, that's mostly Lasombra, right?
No, that's not Shadows. That's torture and darkness and despair upon the mortals.
Yeah.
I
That's,
thought most Lasombra took Path of Night.
well, that's their preference, maybe, but it's not limited to them.
Yeah,
That's what I thought,
no
though. That's
path
what I
is
think.
actually limited to anyone besides maybe the why am I forgetting what they're called suddenly? The assassin guys.
Oh, right, Hakim's.
Yeah, Hakim's path. That one is actually kind of limited just because it's completely based around the religion and everything. So
Yeah, it's Path of Lilith. I was looking at the Path of Lilith, and it was kind of impossible to pull off too.
Okay, Jackalor's telling me where to find the Path of Katari.
I already sent that one.
Oh, I must have typed it in.
Oh, there's one in the actual book. I haven't even bothered looking in the actual book. Paths, come here. There we go.
No, that's the wrong page, Jackalor, you lying piece of shit.
331.
On the actual PDF? Okay, yes, I
Yeah.
see it. Indulge in vice, wealth, sensuality, and material power are hallmarks of the physical world. Lead others to temptation. Grant the curse of Cain to those with great passion. The entire material world and its denizens are corrupt. Expect betrayal and wickedness. Your role as a creature of evil is predestined. Accept it and fulfill your purpose. That simply leads to reincarnation. Mortals return after you kill them. However, you should avoid final death, since you will return as a mortal if you die.
I think it actually does a lot of the things that my character does believe in.
Encourage others to exercise restraint, arbitrary killing, refraining from indulgence, sacrificing gratification for someone else's convenience, impassioned killing, acting against another Albigensian.
I'm guessing that means the path stuff, so hey.
Failing to ride a wave in a frenzy. So essentially trying to go past that poor innocent child in the alleyway.
Mm-hmm.
Showing trust, exercising... I like this. I can work with this. You may take
like
it if you wish.
I like it too. I think it follows a lot of what I think this character is about. As in, he doesn't trust people. He believes in trying to get them to fall into temptation. He's not necessarily a, arbitrary killer, but he will kill with a purpose.
Virtues, virtues, virtues. What virtues does it? Conviction and instinct, so you'd have to switch both. So, yes. You can switch, you'll have 3 points in the path, but essentially you get to move around. Well, you have 3 dots in conscience and self-control on top of the basic one, so you'd have 1 in conviction and instinct, and 1 which you could place in either one or the other based on what you prefer.
All I really care about is... Wait, yeah. It would probably be instinct, because I think that's the one that denies frenzy and stuff, right?
Yes. Yes, indeed it does.
I don't know, I can't actually look at the character sheet anymore on Roll20, so...
I might have removed your access to it for some reason. Yes, I did. Because I was making it an NPC character at that point, and I didn't want people talking with the... there you go.
Oh, okay. You thought I was going to be like the other people.
I suspected it.
You were wrong.
I need to remove Jackalor's access to the Nosferatu, by the way. Give me a second.
Okay, looks like you put that there. We are now going to be Path of Catharly. Yay.
Jesus Christ, Bacon. Leave Shannon alone. God, she's in a dead folder.
So conviction and instinct just goes back up to 4. So, ding.
Wait. 4 how? 4 isn't right. Because you lose the basic 1 point.
Oh, you lose the basic 1 point?
The switching over to that does stop it.
So I'm guessing I need at least 1 point in both.
Yes, you would have 1 and 2 in the other, because reasons. Switching over to a path does leave you without the... yeah.
I thought it was a little bit better than that, but I could very well be wrong.
You know, be grateful that I don't make you act as if you had just switched over, cause
That's even worse, I know.
Yeah. Pickett saying that he has killed 5 of his own characters. I'm not entirely sure that that's true, because Raffaello you killed twice and that doesn't count twice, that only counts once.
No, I killed Seth, Shannon, Julio, Raffaello, and Alice. 5 characters.
You fucking bastard, you did, didn't you?
I won. I killed 5 characters.
No, no. Yorick rules over the city, so he won.
Technically.
He never lost a character, so I won.
No, you failed the hardest.
The last... how is the thing? The last will be the first? Or something like that.
Yeah, Malkav doesn't believe in biblical prophecy, so they don't exist for him, so fuck you.
But I don't believe in Malkav.
Do you have dementation at 8 or whatever it was? I don't think you do, so
I have 5 dead characters, that's enough.
Archibald. Archibald stayed in the city, hiding the Varans, trying to keep the computers going, hoping for rescue, trying to connect to people through the ShrekNet, and eventually he entered a hunger torpor due to the lack of blood and not being able to find, you know, wildlife to feed off of.
This is probably eventually his body was, depending on his humanity, probably eventually found by Yorick's machinations.
That is possible, yes. Alternatively, he might show up later. Maybe. Maybe he
I'm not
will...
saying he killed him. In fact, quite likely Yorick will probably not kill him.
Archibald may well actually, along with, let's say, one more of the Nosferatu, end up serving Yorick. Maybe.
They're his probes into the world. I like that idea.
Yorick wakes them and proclaims that they owe him a life boon. Which
But
then,
he's not an unkind master. He'll provide them with stuff they want / need.
remember
as they are-
bloodlines? As long as you behave, you will have dog blood instead of rats.
Yes. And they will actually have access to, technology, which is kind of lost in the new world.
Sir, we're still having trouble at the microchip factory. We need you to take a look. Yeah, I would say that if you had managed to kill the thing on screen, the technocracy thing, and got the AI core from it, I would be a lot happier with just giving you a functioning industrial base just based on robots. As opposed to a single crumbling skyscraper loaded with technology that you have kept going somehow. Well, degrees of success. You're alive and you have a technological base in a world that doesn't have any, essentially.
Yeah.
At the very least, you can...
There still should be a lot he can do. You
can make assault rifles. That's the kind of crap that forges empires in a world like that.
I feel like his levels of technology and science and everything would allow him to do more than that. But not for mass construction.
Did you ever read Black Lion? Read Black Lion, the manga.
Oh, guys, there's so many things I could read, but time.
I was telling Yorick to read it.
Yes, you go ahead and read it, Yorick.
Maybe. I have a lot of stuff I'm doing too.
Time it takes over feudal Japan with futuristic technology. That's what you're doing.
The US of A is ruled by Japanese descendants who worship the mighty eagle from days of yore as their one true god. I really think I might make the great eagle of the stars just, their god in After Gehenna.
Have you ever played like the Bioshock Infinity game?
I've
built a cult fathers of the United States.
Not that one. I played Bioshock 1 and 2.
I've just seen a let's play of the one that's in the air.
That's the one. Of like epic.
Who the fuck is doing that? I hear crackling every few minutes.
Same.
Jackalor.
I was hearing.
That means that it's Sriracha.
Sriracha. That's me.
Yes.
What's it sound like? Because I'm not doing anything over here.
Here, let me repeat it.
That. Because I'm nowhere near. Okay.
My fingers are over the mic, and then I just realized maybe I shouldn't do this to my few viewers while I still have them.
Don't worry, I did it.
Also, Jackalor, how many mics are you gonna go through?
He's like in the sticks, so he doesn't have anything with him. So yeah, he forgot to bring the mic with him. Noob, loser, boo, hiss.
You can build. Me and Ed like help you with it.
Jesus!
You could build a.
Plug it
Holy
into a
shit.
different socket on the USB thing. Just that one is fucked up.
Who, me?
Yes, you use a different socket for the mic. Yes. Your connection is blocked on the mic somewhere. Okay, but yeah, one last thing. We've covered the characters and we've covered some of the events. What do you think are the defining and absolutely coolest events? Both. What were the story's moments of badassery, essentially? Let's put it like that.
I've mentioned already quite a few. So.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I was very disappointed in, though? What disappointed me?
I'm sorry.
I wanted a boss battle!
I was intending to give you one, possibly as part of assaulting Andre. Have a huge cinematic thing with Wolfgang by your side, possibly the rest of the war party distracting the boss, then fighting it while you push on to actually prevent the Elder from escaping.
That would have been so cool.
But it never came to be. Because you just assassinated him, you bastard. So you have only yourself to blame.
Hey, he was already finished with the boss when we were done. When we were ready to kill him, you know.
Now that was the one of the ones that were unleashed on the city. I was gonna have another one essentially in progress whenever you attacked Andre. Like, yeah, these are the vats. That's where they cook him. Oh god, something is moving in one of them. Run! Or something along those lines.
Nice.
But yeah, that was a thing that was possible, but that was gonna be part of the final epic boss sequence with the Sabbat. But you know, I think the Sabbat still being there in the background in the shape of Orion fucking with Jackalor works good too. Because that was a... Your mic sounded fine then, but...
Okay, I see. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, what happened to Clifford?
Clifford. Clifford is utterly insane and raving. He will never be the same. He got trapped and driven insane by rather dashing in the labyrinth below the Chantry. He went.
Survive.
He might survive, but he's gonna have very little humanity left, and he's gonna be essentially this raving out of control lunatic, most likely.
Oh, so we're gonna have to kill him.
He is utterly insane. He can't even speak coherently. He got fucked by a vampire, by Malkavian Methuselah, who was deliberately trying to drive off and drive insane anyone that came to fuck with him. Bad things happen to people in those circumstances.
Alright. I think my character sheet is now set up right. I technically have 8 virtues, but that's because I actually technically spent one on character creation with freebie points.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm not even messing with my character yet. Okay, what? I'm trying to think.
as I said, I'm not modifying anything besides that because I don't want to try and min-max it out.
Not that I would let you. I would, if you wanted to min-max, you would have to make a new character and go with 20 experience points instead.
Trust me, I could. And that's why I'm trying to not make a new character. Let's just be the Malkavian.
What does Cain do once Gehenna begins in this particular chronicle?
I hadn't actually 100% decided. Cain, I think, is essentially a sad fuck. He wants it to stop, he's sorry for what's happened, but at the same time he can't admit that what he did was wrong and that he actually killed his brother out of jealousy, so he stays cursed and either gets eaten or destroyed in one shape or another. Or just... he might commit suicide in some way. He might finally find a way to make himself die, but he's certainly not going to be redeemed. He's essentially this sad, tired old man, or the equivalent of thereof, I think.
You know, I like the idea of him being diablerized and him just not having the will to even fight back.
Yeah, that's one of the ways I might handle it, but if someone gets Kane, I would say that they wouldn't necessarily get the benefit of it, and that essentially it would just permanently alter the nature of the curse. I would say that diabolizing Kane does not make you the new Kane. Because, special case.
You had to get something out of it.
If you're doing other Chronicles, just come to a conclusion eventually.
Yeah, it will eventually
We're not
get
doing that.
resolved.
I was asking. Well, I was asking.
You were asking exactly that.
No,
Well,
it's
that's true.
essentially, yeah, that's as much as I know. That Kane is tired of it all at the end.
The Chronicle that I was asking about was the last Chronicle because it's Gehenna now.
Yes.
The Chronicle next is going to be after Gehenna, so I wasn't.
No.
I think he was asking what's Kane doing during the Chronicle we just had.
Yes.
No. No.
Well, the next Chronicle we're having is the Sabbat one.
That's
And-
not what I was. I wasn't asking that one. I was asking what is he doing near Gehenna while Malkov is doing all his stuff.
Kane is just wandering the world, wringing his hands, wanting to interfere, but essentially not seeing any way in which he can without making it worse. Because this whole curse thing has long since gone out of his control, and he's sorry for the consequences, but like I said, he can't admit that he was wrong, so he can't find personal redemption, and he can't save the world, and he's just caught in the middle of it all, for all his vast power, essentially powerless.
There we go.
Yeah, more or less that.
Just somebody
So-
I thought nobody would ask about, so I thought I'd ask.
All right.
If only you had helped the mages. They knew Kane with the red sign and ripples across all vampires. The curse is gone forever. Oh well.
Yeah, screw the mages.
I
Not
leap
very
at
nice
the
to me.
mage.
They were not very nice to me.
Yeah, but from their point of view, you were a cunt.
Try to make amends.
Thing is, like I said, I was trying to keep careful track of how various groups saw you based on the facts they knew about you and how you interacted with them.
And we
Cause-
just generally didn't,
Yeah,
do much to try and say anything.
I think
Which gave its own reputation of sorts. But
Yeah. I kind of felt it is important to try and keep track of the limits of various characters' knowledge and how that shapes their point of view, essentially. Because, sure, Yorick deserved, I would say, probably 3 dots of status by the end of the game, at least. But if no one knows about it, then that's not really gonna happen, even if it's deserved.
Yorick
And
deserved more than 3 dots of status if we want to go that way.
if we rule that the prince essentially had 5, and him being a highly respected and established warlord, then not necessarily. Status scales weirdly.
It
There-
does.
It's huge jumps for every dot. Hence, stuff.
That's generally how every dot works
Mm-hmm.
for backgrounds. Each one is another order of magnitude. So
Okay, so any last questions before I wrap this part up and we say adieu?
not really.
No.
Jackalor? Nietzsche?
So long and thanks for all the fish. That's it.
Well, okay.
Okay, so long and thanks for all the fish. Malkov thanks you as well and is happy to have provided you with your fish. We're gonna wrap up the Springfield Chantry Chronicle on this note. The story is over, the characters are dead, the red star shines victoriously over the world, and the world slowly dies. The World of Darkness is fun. We'll see you again in the Sabbat Chronicle. See you there.